You know what time it is? It's time for the fucking Q&A. Alright, I'm gonna have the actual comments voiced by a text-to-speech because after talking about it for, 40 minutes or so, because I got like 100 fucking questions, it can get tiresome, so you kind of need a break or something to help you out. So I'm just gonna try this. If it doesn't work out, I'll return to what I did last time. If it works out, I'll fucking continue doing it. So here we go.
Did you know that there's a YouTuber in Sweden that's also named Simon?
I don't know of any YouTuber named Simon in Sweden. I actually don't know any YouTuber named Simon, but I suppose so. I mean, it's a very common name, both like in America and Europe, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Are you a virgin?
No.
Can you shove up a banana up the ass and show it for us in camera?
I wish I could, but I don't have it all set up, so maybe next time.
Do you like taking it up the ass?
Meh.
Why is MSAA not working on TUF 5 on VidI GTX 970 and 960?
That's a technical question, so I can't really, help you out because I don't know anything about graphics cards. Most of the time when I order them, I kind of just ask advice from other people, so I can't really, give you actual advice. What I would just, tell you to do if you wanted me to respond, I mean, I guess I would just tell you, contact NVIDIA or MSI or whoever, makes those graphics cards that you're having trouble with, and just talk to them, because they fucking made the thing, so. Then again, it might be just like an update thing, eventually they'll give you new drivers so you can just update that. Either just contact them or make sure your drivers are up to date. If they are and nothing's fucking working, then, it's obviously maybe a faulty graphics card or they haven't fixed that yet, or, you should probably just tell them. Yeah.
What is your favorite music, mission themes, class themes, etc. in Bully?
Oh, wow. I guess I gotta say, I don't know. I think Defender of the Castle is a really good one because they have like this echoey guitar effect that I really fucking love. I think that, more musicians, not all of them, but, more should just try different things with guitar because you see a lot of effects. I'm just going on off on something else, but, I see a lot of effects used for vocals, and I'm just like, what if we apply that to like the actual instrumentals and kind of bring that out more? I know they do that with a lot of stuff, studio versions. They kind of amp up the guitar when they want to, but some stuff can really sound cool, and especially like echoey guitars. I really like that one, not just for the guitar part, but also because it's overall just fucking, energetic and really fits the fucking mood. Similar to most soundtracks in the game, but that one really stands out in my opinion. And actually, I used that soundtrack in order to like win a a jumpsuit or a one-piece jumpsuit or whatever you want to call it. One of those. It's both pants and hoodie. Actually, one of those because I submitted that song. They were like, all right, submit a song that you think is reminds you of school. So I was just like, okay, this is a Bully soundtrack by Sean Lee, and it's good because blah blah blah, and I actually won that, so yeah, all the more of a reason to like it.
Would you rather wake up 0.3 meters taller, 1 foot, and be super strong, not superhuman, but like a pretty buff guy, or win the lottery for 10K? Also, you get 500 anyway, or $500 whatever.
I mean, I guess, feeling very buff would be cool, but to be honest, I don't really feel a need to become really buff. It would be cool, of course. I would never, decline that, but I think having more money would probably help. Especially since I have things that I want to invest in and things that I need, for my apartment, which I'm gonna move out to later, but, that's fucking on the hold for now because I need Z money. So I totally take the 10K.
Would you like a sequel to Bully or an HD remake?
I guess a sequel would be way, way better. A lot of the time, developers and actors and directors and all of those, kind of avoid sequels because they're like, oh, what if that takes it away from like the original, what if it just turns it into something else? If you compare like the original GTA formula with what we have now, I think it actually have changed a lot, especially since GTA 4, and GTA 5 was also kind of a big leap in gameplay. So I think that's a thing, because a lot of people kind of miss the old school stuff, you know, the original formula, which is still there, but not, you know, entirely. I think that is kind of like what's, you know, in the way for a lot of developers. So, you know, to that, I'd say fuck it, just make a fucking sequel. Bully was a good game. You know, it wasn't flawless, obviously, and I think it's actually worth giving it a go. Just make a sequel, see if it works out or not. You know, maybe people will prefer the original over the sequel, but hey, at least you tried it. At least you know, put the game back in the spotlight. So totally. And I actually think that Scholarship Edition was the closest thing to an HD remake we ever got to. They kind of just updated like the lightning and, you know, a few models and stuff, but not really entirely. Of course, textures as well.
Where do you live?
I live in Stockholm, Sweden.
KKK.
Alright then.
Are you really a fucking Satanist, or is it just an image? According to your other channel.
I don't know. The other channel, I only have like a picture of a bunny, so.
Would you rather get raped by your grandfather when you are 6 years old, or have Superman, Hulk, and Shrek gang rape you all at once?
I guess, like, let me just put it this way. I'd rather have one person rape me than more, you know? Especially considering the fact that, you know, the three other characters are superheroes, and one is fucking huge, so, yeah.
Do you like Telltale games?
They're good, I guess. I mean, I heard that they're gonna try, like, Minecraft or something, and I feel like that's gonna go to shit. Since Minecraft really isn't like a main focus in, you know, in the gaming industry at this point, it's kind of passed away, you know? People still play it, obviously, but overall, people kind of just moved away from it. It's a good game, but I would not, like, you know, I would probably not enjoy, like, a Telltale storyline kind of version of it, because it kind of would take away from the freedom, you know? If they want to make it linear, like Walking Dead, and, you know, turn that formula over to Minecraft, it would kind of take away like the main concept, which is you're here, do whatever the fuck you want, you know.
Would you rather Bully 2, or the original Bully game was high def?
I don't know. I kind of answered
Who is your
that.
favorite prep and who is your least favorite prep?
I'd probably say that Justin is my least favorite prep because I don't know anything about him. My favorite prep would probably Darby because he's kind of funny during some cutscenes.
Are you aware that you have fangirls?
I wouldn't be surprised, actually. I mean, I checked out like my analytics and went over to like the demographics tab, and I kind of just examined that. And from what, you know, what I could gather, I do have a small, insignificant portion of female viewers, which I'm not really surprised overall, because my content is not really directed towards a specific group of people. It's kind of just there, you know, for anyone who enjoys it, whether it be commentary, gaming news, rants, story, you know, machinimas and stuff like that. So I think overall, you know, most people, regardless of like, you know, their background or gender or whatever, could probably find some kind of entertainment in my content. And then again, it's kind of just like game related.
What do you put in your butt?
Uh, yeah, a lot of stuff, but that's for a different topic.
Was it fun when Finland fucked Sweden in 1995 and 2011 in hockey? And I know Sweden has won Finland more times, but I don't know. What's...
I really don't, sorry. I really don't actually watch hockey, to be honest, so I don't really know anything, but hey, if we manage to fuck over Finland next time, then yeah, fucking have at it.
What's your favorite nerd? This may or may...
I guess that'd be Ernest or Algernon. It's probably a tie between those two, because Algernon is like the most memorable one, and Ernest is kind of the leader and, you know, the most funny one during cutscenes.
This may or may not been asked, but what would you like to see in a new Bully, whether that be classes, fighting moves, etc.?
I'd say customizable bikes. That would be like really the main thing, you know, during races and stuff. You know, you just customize your fucking bike with the decals and, you know, maybe something to make them faster, like better tires or something, and just kind of improve that. That'd be cool, you know, if they had like the GTA the GTA inventory of upgrades that you could apply to a fucking bicycle. That'd be really something, you know?
Will there be more of the Pete Show?
Yes, I actually have written a basic script, and I'm kind of just, you know, trying to improve on that and stuff. So I haven't really gotten to, like, the recording process yet, but I'm just kind of, you know, brainstorming ideas and trying to figure out what I want to do.
Are you gay?
Nope.
Why are you Love Bully Scholarship Edition? I love it too.
I guess it's just kind of fun. It's a very, I wouldn't say basic game, but in terms of, like, a Rockstar game, it's very simplistic. It does have, like, the typical formula that you'd expect from most Rockstar games, but then again, you know, it's overall, I feel like the environments, the events, the storyline, the characters, all of that, even the soundtrack just fits in so fucking nicely into this package you call a game. And I think that overall, yeah, it just kind of melts smoothly together. It's not really like an awkwardly pacing game, it just kind of lets you do anything at your will. And that's kind of the interesting point of it, because like most GTA games, you're kind of like, okay, what do I want to do now? Explore, you know, do missions and stuff. There's tons of stuff you can actually do in the game if you give it a time and just kind of look through it. I think I actually made a video of like 50 things you can do. So overall, it's just a really entertaining game, especially if you're like new to the game and you haven't like discovered everything yet. You know, unlike a lot of sandbox games, exploring is actually fucking fun.
Can you add yourself to Bully as a mod?
I thought about it actually, but I kind of just gave up halfway through. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. I thought about like the facial part, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just use Jimmy and just reskin the clothes or something.
Name 5 upcoming games that you are excited for.
Wow, hold on. I'd say Fallout. That's one I'm really excited for because to be honest, I haven't played any of the Fallout games. I actually own a Fallout New Vegas on Steam, but I haven't even installed it. So I guess Fallout, because it just looks like something that Bethesda really wanted to do. I guess it was Bethesda? Yeah, I think it was. And then what else? I guess GTA 6? I don't know. I mean, GTA 5 kind of delivered if you actually, like, get in the game. If you just look, you know, you gotta look at it from a specific kind of angle. The angle of, okay, I'm gonna see what they want me to enjoy, and I'm gonna see if I do enjoy it. So you don't really have, like, expectations like, oh, you know, this let me down because San Andreas had this and they don't have that. You know, it's kind of like, that's kind of the wrong, you know, point of view you gotta have. You gotta have, like, the one where you kind of just jump into it and you kind of just explore what you have to offer. And I think that's a similar thing with a lot of Rockstar games, because when it comes to, what is it, like Max Payne, you know, a lot of people expect it like a free roaming experience for some reason. I don't know why, but when you actually look at it, even though it's linear, it's still something that's very, very good. So I think you just gotta look at it from, you know, that perspective, and it'll be fun. So GTA 6, totally, if they, like, do something similar like GTA 5 or, you know, San Andreas even. And then you have, whatever games, you know, maybe a few years ago I would have said Dead Rising 4, but just stop, Capcom. It's enough. You should have stopped after Dead Rising 2. Okay, it's just I don't like it. So I guess that's one if you go back in time. Then Bully 2, obviously, and I don't know. I guess Half-Life 3, but that's not official, nor is any of the other games I mentioned except for Fallout. So.
Would you prefer Red Dead 2 or Bully 2, and why?
I guess Bully 2 would be something that I prefer. I think Red Dead Redemption was actually Red Dead 2, so yeah, we already got that. But if you mean like Red Dead 3, then probably yeah, probably not actually. I think I'd prefer Bully 2, not only because it would make my fucking channel blow the hell up again, but also because it'd be something that I could really fucking talk about, something that I could really, you know, get a lot of content out of, and something that I probably would really enjoy playing. You know, I enjoyed Red Dead Redemption, but overall, I gotta say, you know, Bully was probably a bit more fun in a lot of aspects.
What's your favorite mission in Bully?
I don't know. I feel like I'm giving like different answers each time someone asks this. So I guess I would say that, I honestly don't know. I guess the one where you play the big game, you know, where you do the pranks. That's kind of fun. You know, it's easy. It's just straightforward, and you know, overall, it's kind of interesting. Because it kind of has that, you know, mischief kind of tone that the game was supposed to have in the first place. So you kind of feel like you're doing a different kind of mission, you know?
Are,
Instead of helping people, you're kind of just doing things for them, but also for yourself, you know?
are you bisexual?
Meh.
Why you're so creepy?
I don't know, because someone's gotta be.
What is your favorite bully mod?
I don't know, really. I'd say Super Mod because, you know, obviously, it's like the first in-game official trainer where you can just do whatever. It kind of like removes the barrier from things that you normally couldn't do. It just allows you to basically do whatever, you know, within the game's limitations, obviously. But it kind of just allows you to switch characters, vehicles, and all that. So, you know, overall, yeah, it just kind of breaks the game and lets you do whatever you want.
In Bully, what was your favorite parts? Like missions, cutscenes, hurting nerds, etc.
I guess my favorite part in Bully would probably be, I don't know, I guess just overall exploring, I'd suppose. When you first play the game and you don't really know the environments or characters, everything just feels so fucking fresh and new. Which is, you know, obvious because you're not accustomed to it yet, but overall it kind of just has this tone of, it's difficult to explain. If you get into like Bully in Canis Canem Edit for the first time, it really has a different kind of feeling. It really does. Scholarship Edition is more transparent in my opinion, mainly because of like the visuals upgrade and stuff like that. But I feel that, you know, Canis Canem Edit feels very different for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's a PS2 game and, you know, you kind of didn't have the ability to mod the game to the same extent that you can on PC. But overall, I'd say that that's my favorite thing about Bully. Just overall, you know, being new to the game, exploring it, and just discovering thing after thing, you know, and just going on and kind of just learning more about the game as you play through it. Even like by the end of the game, I discovered a ton of things I could do. You know, like unlocking the go-kart or the moped.
Pizza or apples or steak?
I guess I'd say pizza.
Do you have any plans for another series in the future? If so, what can you tell us about it?
I've thought about making like a huge fucking, you know, full-length movie kind of thing, you know, where I make like, you know, normally like a serious machinima like Undead, but, you know, like an hour and 20 minutes long or something like that. That'd be really cool, but you know, I'd need like really dedicated voice actors for that. And you know, oftentimes when I write scripts, I'm kind of just going halfway through, and I kind of just look at it. I'm like, this is not really good enough. You know, I feel like the pacing's awkward. I feel like in some scenes it's really slow, in others it's really fast. And overall, how am I gonna keep the viewer interested? How, you know, what's the thing that just keeps them looking at it and going like, okay, I'm gonna watch this storyline, watch it unfold, and not focus on like the flaws or details and stuff like that. So I guess that's the one thing that's stopping me from doing that, but if I get past that, I'll probably make something like that.
Can you mod Bully on Steam with a Windows 8 using the mods from bullymods.net?
I have no idea like what the limitations of Windows 8 is. I actually have it installed on my PC like as a second boot up thing, but I rarely use it except for, you know, when I feel like and I want to do like motion capture and stuff like that. But I guess it's more like just a technical question that I really can't respond to because I don't have any experience on it. So sorry.
Have you ever been far as decided to use even go wanted to look more like?
Oh yeah, all the fucking time. Wow.
How to import NIF files into thirds max ways. Whenever I import NIF files it says unknown source error.
I don't know, that's a technical thing. I barely know anything about 3ds Max as it is. I just kind of use it, you know, just like that on the spot. And if I encounter like an error, I just give up and leave it alone for like a month. Then, you know, I return and do whatever.
What's your favorite game by Rockstar besides Bully?
GTA SA, hands down. It's you know, not only is it very memorable because it played a part in like in my childhood, because I played it with friends, I played it with siblings, I played it alone. I discovered online and played with other people. And overall it just feels like a very large game. It really does. It feels like one of those games that you have a ton of stuff to do, and playing online just gave it kind of like an infinite dimension of possibilities. And I think that overall it's one of the most memorable games I've ever played. So totally GTA San Andreas.
Are you going to report the fake SWEGTA 3 account?
No, probably not. I don't see the reason to. The only, time I feel like reporting someone is if, they kind of just like, if they use like my real name or stuff like that, and I'm just kind of like, okay, this is kind of, I don't know if it's harassment, but it's kind of just rude, and, yeah. Only then would I kind of report them. Or if, they try to like actually pose a threat to me, not just leave a comment like, oh, you're a faggot, or, fuck you. Then it's like, whatever, I don't care. I'll even approve that as a comment, because fuck it, it's still a comment. And I'm not gonna really, like, police what people can say and can't say. But when it comes to reporting, only if it's, like, posing a threat to me or someone I know, that I will report it.
My voice impregnates women within a 15-foot radius.
Alright then. That's good, I guess.
What if I told you that I don't have a question?
Well, then I'd be very disappointed.
Can I get a hug?
Yeah, sure, come over here.
Did you barely suck any good cocks?
Did I barely suck any good cocks? I don't know, you'll have to ask your mom. Ooh, fuck it.
When was the first time you played Bully? By the way, your videos are awesome.
Thanks. I guess the first time I played Bully was Candace Cannon Edit in like 2006, I think it was released. I remember playing it like up in like the attic, in like my mom's house when I was like, I don't know, I must have been like 8 or 9 years old at the time. But yeah, I remember playing that, and it just kind of like gave me this new feel of Rockstar games. I knew of GTA, and oftentimes, I'd just go to a video game store and I'd be like, oh, here's another GTA, let's buy that. But it kind of just gave me this whole perspective of maybe I should check out more of their stuff. Maybe I should kind of explore more games like this. And I feel like it just kind of introduced me to a whole lot of stuff. So it has to be like around 2006, to answer your question, 2006 or so when I first played it.
In Bully 2, would you like it if Rockstar put Jimmy in collage? You favorite?
Do you mean college or collage? Because those are whatever. I guess. I mean, I don't really know, because you'd have to introduce like a new dimension of violence and stuff like that. You kind of just allow the player to get kind of more gritty and serious. Because at that point, you don't really have the restrictions, and people would just ask you, why not allow us to, have this violence? There's clearly like no barrier that's preventing you from giving that to us. And I'd probably say that, maybe you could do so. I think Jerry Rosedale could probably pull off the voice acting. But overall, I feel like it would probably take away from the game a bit. Then again, I don't know, maybe Rockstar would surprise me or something.
Your favorite console?
My favorite console? I don't really know. I guess PC doesn't count, since it's not a console really. But I'd probably say Xbox 360. I know a bunch of PS4 and Xbox One people are gonna get pissed, but I haven't tried any of those really. I've only tried the PS3 once or twice, and I kind of just like really didn't get into it and didn't care, because I played for like 5 minutes. And the Xbox 360 just kind of has, more. I have more experience with that, unlike most other consoles. I mean, I've tried GameCube, I've tried Wii, and tons of other shit, but overall just 360 all the way, I guess. Even though, it's not flawless, obviously. I'd probably say 360 now, because I have a JTAG'd one, which is kind of cool. It just opens up to more customization and stuff. Overall, I don't really play console at this time. I haven't done so in quite a long while, but, speaking from experience, I'd just say 360.
If Rockstar made a Bully 2, would you recommend online or multiplayer story mode?
I mean, that depends. If like they would force you into online co-op in order to further the story, then I'd be like, okay, this is kind of stupid. But if it's overall just kind of a thing where, like, you know, it doesn't affect the storyline or anything like that, and just kind of, you know, leaves the multiplayer in there, but, you know, only with co-op elements during missions, then I'm all for it, you know, I'm totally cool with it. But, you know, as long as it's kind of like a thing on the side you can do.
What's her favorite clique and bully?
I'd probably say bullies.
Oh yay, and if you could play a character in Bully, who would you want to play?
Um, I don't really know. I mean, Supermod allows you to play anyone, but if you mean like, you know, voice actor character, it would probably be, I don't really know. I mean, if you want me to like replace the voice acting for a specific character or introduce a new one, I can't really answer your question, and I just slammed my hand on the desk like an idiot.
What's one thing you've always wanted to do with your channel, but couldn't? Either because it would be too difficult, or you thought your fan base wouldn't react well to it?
Probably get into politics. I'm not really high on politics, but overall I have things that I want to say, you know, things that I, you know people are gonna kind of get split on, and people are gonna take sides and stuff like that. And I feel like I don't really want to do that to like my viewership, but I don't want to like, you know, separate them and kind of divide people into, you know, we're this side and we're that side and fuck you and stuff like that. So I think just getting into like more serious topics would probably be a bad move. Then again, you know, I occasionally talk about stuff that's kind of serious, but not to the point where, you know, it requires a huge amount of discussion and debating. So I guess just kind of opening up a can of here's something to talk about, but at the same time kind of avoid that, because I feel like it, you know, it would not really play to my benefit in the end.
Do you prefer a PC that could handle every mod in a game of your choice, but can't handle other games, or a PC that allows you to have multiple games, but can't install mods?
I mean, I don't really know what would prevent you from installing mods, and it's kind of like a lose-lose situation at that point. But I'd probably say that a PC that can handle a game, or, you know, fuck it, let's just have a PC that can handle all games and no mods, because I don't care. You know, I could probably use this one for mods and that other one for, like, you know, very high quality gaming, highest settings, if that's what you mean.
Will you make Bully Beta Episode 3? And also watch Teletubbies, or get raped?
I thought about making a third one, but who knows? I mean, the second one didn't really get the same amount of views that the first one got, which I really thought it would. So it wouldn't really work to my benefit, but then again, I do enjoy doing the research. Only problem is, like, piecing it all together and making it flow without, you know, kind of just jumping from topic to topic at random. And I'd say that I probably watched the Teletubbies instead of getting raped, because, you know, a rape can affect you for a lifetime, and Teletubbies is just boring, you know, so it's kind of just like that. I mean, a Teletubbies episode cannot be more than 20 minutes long. It's a fucking children's show, and, you know, kids don't really have the attention span for half an hour. So, you know, it's either like, wait 20 minutes, or get raped, you know?
Do you enjoy butt sex? And if Jimmy was a free roam character, and not your player, do you think he could hold his own against tougher kids, like Biff, Russell, and Damon?
I enjoy butt sex with your mom. That's also shit. I guess, oh yeah, if Jimmy wasn't a playable character, I mean, that all depends. In the introduction of Bully, he's kind of just like one of these students that's kind of begging to be left alone, but throughout the storyline he kind of develops into a more you know, individualistic and I guess self-empowered person that kind of just stands up for himself. So I guess I'd say, like, if his character would develop just like it does when you control him, then I'd say that he could probably hold his own. But, you know, if it was just like left up to like him remaining the way he was since he arrived, then probably not. Maybe to some extent, but, you know, if you played it as someone else, you would probably, you know, kind of you know, kind of be higher up than Jimmy was, and I don't think that Jimmy would be able to take on everyone else. Yeah, you probably asked something about the bullies. I guess he would probably get his ass kicked by the bullies in the whole, I mean, Russell. So, probably not, but maybe.
Can you use an Xbox controller with PC?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you just gotta find like one that's compatible with the Windows, I guess, or Mac. I don't know if Mac can handle that. I don't know. But I actually use like an official Microsoft Xbox 360 controller for Windows. And you get like this wireless thing that you just plug into your USB and just, start the controller and, boom, there you go. So I guess, yeah, you can.
Isn't the bully modding community dead already?
I wouldn't say it's dead. I'm just saying that like people kind of tend to disagree. I don't really see a reason for everyone to just get along for it to be alive. Maybe that's probably unfair because it's probably not what you're insinuating, but I think that overall it's not really dead. It's kind of just, going a lot of people go on hiatus, after a while. They kind of just get back into modding, then leave it, then get back. I mean, just look at like the boss, he left tons of times and keeps on returning because he has things that he wants to do, then he has things that he wants to do outside of modding, and I think that applies to a lot of people, not just him. Not all, obviously, and you do have like feuds between people, like I said, which kind of just separates the community. But overall, I'd say that it's not really dead. I mean, if it were to be dead, then it would probably be more like the Dead Rising modding community, where only like 5 people mod it now, So I'd say that it's not dead. It's kind of just like not as active as it was for a short period of time. But I think that once Bully MP gets released, or Bully 2 gets announced, or we get a second, a third wave of people flooding to the forums, we could probably, just restore it. So I'd say that, right now it's kind of just like on hold temporarily.
If you had the chance to be a voice actor for Bully 2, would you take it?
Yeah, probably.
Which Rockstar game, in your opinion, has the best voice acting?
I'd say, I don't know, I guess San Andreas, to be honest, because they had so many big names, and it was just, I think that was the first time they actually used like a non-big name voice actor, they kind of just, I think the original story, I think the story behind CJ's voice actor was Dan or Sam Houser or someone else at Rockstar Games was talking to someone else on the phone, and they heard a young Melee in the background, which is CJ's voice actor, and they were like, "Oh, who's that?" And he visited, and they were like, "Okay, do you want to voice act?" And they tried it out, and it actually worked. So I'd say like San Andreas was kind of full of surprises because you had like these big, huge names. You had like Samuel L. Jackson, James Woods, tons of people. Even like Axl Rose, and that's something that's really fucking big. Something that Rockstar really don't do much at this point, sadly. Mainly because big names tend to want big money, and they tend to want big respect and admiration from people that they work for, aka Rockstar. So I'd probably say that San Andreas had so many surprises, not only because of like introducing like a non-famous voice actor as the main character, but also introducing huge names as side characters in a way, and even like just using some as radio DJs and stuff like that, and like minor characters. So I think that overall San Andreas just kind of had a huge surprise, because occasionally you'll like play it and you'll encounter a specific character and you'll be like, wait, hold on. And you look up the IMDb page and you're like, holy shit, that's them, So I'd say that San Andreas was like the biggest fucking one in terms of like Hollywood star quality and also surprisingly good voice acting.
Who would win in a fight, a bear or a gorilla?
I'd say a bear, because have you seen bear claws? I mean, they're fucking sharp as shit.
When is Bully multiplayer mod coming out?
I don't know.
Who should be the main character in Bully 2, if it somehow came out?
I'd probably say a new character. Maybe Jimmy, like I said, I think Jerry Rosenthal could still pull it off. Even though it's been like 10 years, or maybe, I guess it would be 8 years since Scholarship Edition. But 10 years since Candace kind of edit came out that he did like really official, Rockstar voice acting for a new title. So I'd say that, he could probably pull it off, but to be honest, I think it'd be like just a tiny bit rusty, because, I mean, over 10 years you kind of tend to develop a lot as a person, not only through voice and stuff, but also like overall. But I think that, like I said, Jerry could pull it off, but overall, I say get a new character, get some fresh faces in. Don't be afraid to try different things. But like I said, if Jerry were to appear on a Bully 2 sequel, the Bully sequel, I'd be totally fine with it. I'd actually be kind of surprised and pleasantly surprised at that.
Have you ever played Minecraft? Just saying, bro.
Yes, I have, bro.
Does Rockstar planning to make Bully 2, or it's just a fake news?
I have no idea. I really don't have any, like, behind the scenes, explicit, hidden resources, but, no one's telling me shit, essentially, because, I don't know, I don't really have any connections.
Are you going to make more sample text videos?
I probably will. I've spoken to Mick about making a sequel, and we actually, like, wrote down ideas and stuff, so, expect sample text episode 2 soon.
Are you planning on doing videos on other games besides Bully?
I thought about it. I actually looked, like, at the GTA 5 community, and I was like, oh my fucking god, this is hideous. I kind of just look at it, and, you look at, like, the videos from the big YouTubers, the gamers, as they call them, people who just boot up, the game and fuck with people online using cheats. Yeah, those. And you kind of just look at it, and you're kind of just like, this is just a community that's filled with assholes. I'm not saying all of them are assholes, but I'm saying, like, a large portion of them are. Because you look at, like, the Easter egg people who are like, Bigfoot found, and they just ramble on about their fucking channel for 8 minutes, then get to the actual topic at hand for like 1 minute, then just abruptly end the video. Or they just use the same formula. Like, hey, what is going on, guys? Generic YouTuber fucking 5,032,000 AC, and I'm here with the, my Easter egg. And then you have, like, royalty-free dubstep in the background, and, it's all the recycled format that people use over and over again. I mean, I'm guilty of using that, but, I can at least admit to it, and I try to tone it down. I rarely use that at this point. I tried it, like, twice, and I kind of just looked at it and I was like, I'm an asshole, I don't want to use this. So, I guess I'd try GTA 5 if I knew more about it when it comes to, excuse me, when it comes to, like, overall just making machinimas and stuff. I feel like I'm more accustomed to, Bully. Initially, my channel was GTA SA related. I wanted to get into GTA SA machinimas and stuff like that, but I really couldn't because I didn't have experience. I didn't know, the things you'd need to do during editing. I didn't know how to, like, prepare a script and stuff like that, and I really wasn't accustomed to any of it. So I kind of just moved on to Bully and made short videos, then, made machinimas, then made commentaries, then made mod stuff, then made more machinimas. It's kind of just variant. And at this point, I probably could make GTA 5 machinimas, but I really don't know, like, all of the ins and outs when it comes to, like, the actual setting up of machinimas. It's entirely different, and I feel like the overall controls of characters it's kind of just unknown for me at this point. But maybe the GTA 5 stuff, if it wasn't for the fucking community at this point. I mean, they steal stuff from each other at all fucking time. I mean, all the time, sorry. And overall, it's just like a huge mess of people just wanting money and stuff. People just go around and, sell shirts and they use misleading titles and thumbnails. Like, they'll put tits in the fucking title. If I were to do that, YouTube would be like, hey, stop that, you're banned. But because a big YouTuber with, like, 100,000 subs do it, it's fine. So, I don't know, it's a huge fucking mess of problems and stuff they gotta sort out. I know the Bully community isn't flawless, but it's a fucking saint compared to GTA 5 stuff, so yeah, maybe GTA 5 in the future if they actually, like, clean up their fucking act.
Do you think Bully 2 will have online multiplayer? And if so, do you think there will be factions?
I'd say that if they were to announce Bully 2, yes, multiplayer. I mean, Red Dead Redemption had multiplayer, GTA 5 had multiplayer, Max Payne 3 had multiplayer, and so why not Bully 2, And overall, I'd say that, I don't know, I forgot the fucking question. Let's play it again, I guess.
What do you think Jimmy would look like? Do you think Bully 2 will have online multiplayer?
Oh yeah, factions, right. Yeah, I think there be factions. I mean, I guess you could just pick them similar to you as you do in Red Dead. You know, where you kind of pick from a specific group of people, and you could probably pick like from bullies, jocks, nerds, and all that. I think it'd be like a similar system, if not entirely, uh, you know, identical.
And if so, what do you think Jimmy would look like in the next game if he is in Bully 2? And I love your videos, keep it up, you're brilliant and funny.
I think he'd be. Oh, by the way, thanks. I think he'd be slightly taller and kind of just like a bit more mature and overall just kind of slightly different in clothing. Because are you really gonna like use the same clothing in the game, like the exact same? I mean, it's not bad, but you kind of need more originality, I guess. Even though it's your own game, but still. So yeah.
What current mod are you working on?
I've thought I should actually just talk about this now. I've recently been working with the boss on a huge project called Bullshit, and that's an actual title for a mod. It's gonna be something huge once we release it, so yeah, be prepared. Not to the same extent as Bully MP, obviously, but in terms of just what the Bully Lua modding community has to offer right now, I'd say it's gonna be fucking really cool.
Did you know I'm a big fan of Bully? And also I subscribe to your channel, you seem cool, and I play Bully non-stop.
That is good. I don't know really like who you are because I kind of just have like these all in a playlist of text-to-speech. And by the way, if you're wondering like why some of them aren't questions and just like random trolling, it's because the text-to-speech I used actually just did that. It will occasionally do that when you try to download stuff, so I'm gonna avoid that in the future and kind of use an alternative.
Do you play FIFA,
Nope.
Poemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh?
I'd say Pokemon. I don't really play Pokemon at all. I played it a few times, maybe like 1 or 2 years ago. But I'd say Pokemon because it kind of has more originality. I mean, you can't really say that Yu-Gi-Oh, wasn't really a slight rip-off of it.
Do you even lift?
Nope.
Going in raw on Pete's grandma, bang Jimmy's grandpa in a bathroom stall, boned a prefect, in the hall, pinned him up against a wall, balls to the wall for real. Thoughts on this fucktarded rhyme?
Oh, it's fucktarded as shit.
When next episode of Pete's show will come?
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm still working on it.
Do you have a Wii U and are you getting Super Mario Maker?
Nope and nope.
What is your reaction to Sinister leaving the internet?
I don't know how he's gonna do that. I don't know which Sinister you're referring to because I know like 8 Sinisters, or maybe like 5 probably, but quite a few. And I think I'd say that it's gonna be kind of difficult for him to do so because I mean, like at this point we're living in like the social media generation, So it's kind of just like even it's kind of just like picking between being social and being like in with the times, or kind of just being an outsider. You could probably handle both to some extent, but overall, I'd say it's gonna be difficult if you're abandoning like the concept of the internet entirely. I'd say that like when it comes to like paying bills and stuff, it's way easier using like online tools and stuff. So it's gonna be difficult. I don't think he'll be gone forever, but who knows?
Is Bully MP and Bully Zombie Edition still in the making?
Yes, they are. Zombie Edition is on hiatus once again, and we're kind of just taking some time off because overall, I just feel like at this point, Bully MP needs, me to some extent to kind of help out. Not, it's not crucial that I help them out, obviously, but to some extent, I feel like Bully MP is something that I want to focus on, as well as, Bullshit, which I'm working on. Which, it's not really a joke. I'm actually working on a mod called Bullshit.
Bully multiplayer mod.
That's a good question.
Do you play any other games than Bully?
I do. I play a ton of them right now. I play, CSGO. I've recently taken up a Let's Play that I'm gonna be uploading soon on Brutal Legend, which is a game that features Jack Black, which is probably the best voice actor you could get. And then you have other stuff like GTA SA sometimes. GTA 5 is something that I'm playing right now because I'm modding it in before Rockstar ban, but still, it's fun to mod, and I feel like it's gonna be fucking huge once they unlock, ped rigging and stuff. So, I'd say a lot of games.
Will there be NPCs in Bully multiplayer?
Um, I don't think so. I mean, like they've thought about it, but the closest thing to NPCs they have now is just like bot players that kind of just stand there and don't do anything. So I don't think NPCs are gonna be a thing because they have, it's not easy to synchronize an NPC with, with different players. For one player, an NPC could appear to be doing something, and for the other player, it could appear that the NPC is doing something entirely different. It's not synchronized between both in the same way. It's kind of just like individualistic per each player, which is a big problem if you wanna like include NPCs.
What's your relationship status, and do you have a job that isn't YouTube?
Right now, I'm single. I've been in relationships in the past, but I don't really like have an interest for one at the moment because I feel like, gathering my life and kind of just looking at what I want to do for a living, where I want to live, how I want to spend my time and all of that. I think a relationship would probably not be the best thing right now. Hold on. God damn it.
Will there be NPCs in What's your relationship status, and do you have a job that isn't YouTube?
I do have a job, and I don't think like my views would be enough for me to actually make a living off of at this point. Maybe sometime in the future. I've actually thought about like, just kind of living, on maybe welfare or something, but at the same time making, a fair amount of money through YouTube and eventually be able to make it just by YouTube and kind of drop the welfare thing. But I don't know, I feel like it wouldn't really be fair. Maybe I would do that if I, thought about it enough. But at this point, I just want to get a job so I have something to offer. I already have a job, but I feel like looking for a new one anyway.
When was the first time you've played Bully? Canis Canem edit.
Yep, already answered that one.
What's your favorite character in Grand Theft Auto 5?
I'll probably say, I don't really know. I mean, I guess Michael. Probably because I feel like you can kind of see where he's coming from. A lot of characters in the game, I'd say all of them, criticize his way of spending his time, the things he talks about, the things he, wants to do, and the things he doesn't want to do. And people just criticize him for that. And once you see things from his perspective, you kind of get a reason why, he does all of this. And I think that overall it's a very misunderstood character. I know I'm kind of going in too deep at this point, but it's kind of interesting when you really think about it.
The Bully 2 is released when?
I don't know.
Do you enjoy peeling ass skin? If you haven't peeled ass skin before, then you need to go out and peel some ass skin, and then tell me about your experience.
Alright, I'll go ahead and do that.
How many niggers you killed? How many
Wow. Okay, I guess it wanted to replay the question. None yet. Maybe later.
niggers you killed? How many niggers?
Okay, I guess I have to do something. Hold on. Doing shit live fucking sucks.
1. Are you a fan of Xbox or PlayStation? 2. Is Mac keep calling us niggas?
Alright, hold on. PlayStation or Xbox? I'd say probably PlayStation because Microsoft really fucked over people over the last while. And I feel like PlayStation is not really safe enough. I've been talking for what, 48 minutes. Give me a break. Alright. I'd say that the PlayStation, overall would be way better if they actually had like, a better security system. But overall, I'd say they treat their customers better than Microsoft does. So probably Xbox. And what was the second question? Ugh. Stop.
How many niggers you killed? 1. Are you a fan of Xbox or PlayStation? 2. Is Mac keep calling us niggas because he's racist or he's in some gangster shit? 3. Who is your favorite character in Bully?
Alright, Mick is gonna call you whatever he can just to, like, kind of get a rise out of you, and it's nothing really, like, against you as an individual. It's kind of just there because it's funny, so I wouldn't take offense to it. His sense of humor is very, like, crude and kind of, something that is there to just kind of mock people and see if they react. So I wouldn't take any offense to it. When it comes to your last question, I can't fucking remember. Hold on.
Bark bark. How bark bark. 1. How many niggers? 1. Are you a fan of Xbox or PlayStation? 2. Is Mac keep calling us niggas because he's racist or he's in some gangster shit? 3. Who is your favorite character in Bully?
I'd say that probably Jimmy Hopkins. I'd say.
Bark bark.
That's a good comment.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
If you had a chance of adding a clique on Bully, what would they be called?
Probably punks or skaters, you know, something like that. Something that would kind of just add a new element of something similar to Greasers, but kind of a different side, you know?
I know this is unlikely, but are you going to ever show more footage of the Fight Club? That mod looks like fun and there is practically no footage of it on YouTube.
I mean, I did like make a mod review of it. I thought about making like you know, me just kind of playing the Fight Club mod and, you know, trying to get like a high score and stuff, but I don't know, maybe.
I hate bringing up the past here, but did you know Government Fag 123, as you call him, plans to return?
I don't recall actually calling him that, but if I did, I take it back, and I welcome him back with open arms. I think that overall, I mean, if he wants to return, that's fine. I'm not going to be against that. And if he wants to return and kind of just see if things work out with other people, then he's more than welcome to do so. Overall, I feel like the, you know, arrogance he showed in the past is, you know, still in the fucking past as far as I'm concerned. So if he wants to drop that and just get in, you know, with what we have right now, he's more than welcome to do so.
Can you say our names before you answer our question?
Nope.
We hate fucking niggers, you dumb motherfucking bitch.
Alright then.
I remember when I first saw a Moonman video.
Alright.
Why do you always sound so pissed off and depressed?
I'd say that it's probably because I'm a very cynical and kind of just like meh kind of person, you know, so I wouldn't like take offense to it.
What's your favorite character in Grand Theft Auto 5?
Alright, I think I already answered
The
that.
Bully 2 is released when?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy peeling ass skin? How many niggers you killed? Are you mad that I posted 2 comments/questions?
Yes, I'm fucking furious.
Do you think Carl Johnson should return in Grand Theft Auto 6?
Maybe, actually. I know that people get really excited for GTA 5 for him to return because they saw one character running around with like a white tank top and they were like, it's CJ. So, yeah, maybe. I mean, the fans are obviously ready for it.
1.
Alright, let's see. We have a few more questions here.
If you wanted to live somewhere else, where would it be?
I'd say probably in like the more... I'd say if I had to pick any like kind of location and area, I'd probably pick like a penthouse somewhere or like a really fucking fancy apartment in like the richer neighborhoods, I guess.
Was there ever a game that you expected to be good, but ended up bad?
Yeah, Dead Rising 3. I honestly I didn't have a lot of expectation for it, but Capcom initially said we're gonna focus on more like horror-oriented stuff. You know, kind of focus on bringing back the like true stuff we wanted. And what do we get? Well, we get fart jokes and fat people. You know, just kind of like fat jokes and vomit and fart jokes and you know just overall kind of shitty humor. Obviously, it just came off as, you know, kind of like a game that doesn't know what it wants to do. On one side, you have a terrified main character who comes off as someone who would not be able to survive in a zombie apocalypse if they play the role as a hero. On the other hand, they can kill basically anything with their bare hands, just like that. So you kind of just look at this and go like, why is this, you know? I mean, if my kill counter is like 60,000 and I can make a lightsaber just out of a flashlight and, you know, some jewelry, why the fuck is my character so afraid? And the game really didn't know what it wanted to be like. You know, like I said, on one side you have this cheap humor that's kind of just there because it's supposed to be silly and stuff like that. And I guess that kind of worked in a way for Off the Record in some areas. But overall it just came off as, you know, I mean, the people who made Dead Rising 3, they made it basically for Let's Players and people who just wanted to jump in a game and be like, oh, look, you know, I built a fucking killing machine out of two fucking, you know, cars. So I kind of feel like it didn't really serve the actual fan base of Dead Rising. It kind of just served the people who wanted a game where they could just jump in and do obscure shit for the sake of doing obscure shit. So they kind of wanted to do something for the fan base, but they just fell flat at doing so.
Now that I have great videos, like you said, do you think your subs will listen to you and sub me?
I mean, that all depends on your actual videos. My subscribers, occasionally I tell them like, hey, check out this channel or check out this person. They only do so when they feel like, and when they feel like it, they'll go subscribe. I mean, I announced like the official Bully MP YouTube channel. It got like 300 subs within a couple of days. Then you have stuff like, you know, maybe Mix or Alons or Docs or whoever else I work with channel, and that was Twitch, by the way. You know, they kind of just kind of just don't care to the same extent. I mean, some of them might check it out, but most of them won't. So it all depends on like the topic at hand.
Have you seen the recreation of the Bully beta missions? There is a guy on YouTube that recreated the mission, where Jimmy fights Edgar, and if he fails he will fall into the acid pit, while Edgar laughs at him and says, "How does the chemicals feel against your skin, Jimmy?" And laughs again. It's pretty sick.
I mean, I've seen that video, so yep.
2 questions if you don't mind.
Alright.
1.
I mean, at least it's better than the people who ask like 20 fucking questions. If you want to leave like 2 questions for the next Q&A, then fucking go right ahead, I'll respond. And I won't really think much of it. But if you leave like 20 questions, I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna respond to all of this. I'm just gonna kind of skip most of
Which
it.
would you rather want Rockstar to make next, Bully 2, Red Dead 3, or Manhunt 3?
Bully 2.
Personally, I want Bully 2 right now.
Yep.
2. Do you think Rockstar will ever make Manhunt 3, after all the controversy that the first 2 games made?
I wouldn't be surprised, you know, fuck controversy. I mean, what are people gonna do? Fucking bitch and moan at Fox News? Gaming has moved forward. I mean, we have games where so much brutal stuff happens. We have you know, GTA 5, you could, you know, there's a mission, and this is not a spoiler, by the way, so it's not gonna affect the storyline, you know, at all. But there's actually a mission where you torture someone, you know, you waterboard them, you know, by putting a towel on their face and pouring water over it in order to, like, simulate drowning. Then, you know, you fucking pull out their teeth with, you know, a pair of pliers. You can break their fucking kneecaps with, like, with a wrench, and you can, you know, electrocute them. There's so many things you can do. And I feel like if Rockstar can get away with that, they can fucking get away with a stealth game. No doubt. Like, I don't fucking...
Have you ever had a dream that you could do so you want them to do so much you can't do anything?
Yep.
Lol. Serious question.
Alright.
Bully Beta Episode 3. When? I want it so much.
I don't know when. I've thought about it, and I'm kind of just like, at this point, I'm just kind of considering whether or not to make it. I mean, people want it, obviously, but it would probably be more for my viewers and not really for the actual views, you know? Which, in and of itself, sounds like a oxymoron, but it's really not. You know, if you look at a lot of videos I made earlier in, like, the old school days, some of them got a ton of views, but, like, most of the views didn't really stay. I mean, they kind of just came and went, and that was it. So, in, like, videos like Bully Beta, Undead, and all of that, I kind of have more to offer, but it won't get the same amount of views because it's not, like, as a quick thing that I can throw together and present and be like, yay, views now, you know? If I make a Bully 2 commentary, a lot of people are gonna watch it, but not a lot of people are gonna stay, so it's kind of the same thing for that. So it's kind of like, I have to balance out whether or not I want views or to entertain, like, most of my viewers. And I know that most of my viewers kind of want machinimas and other stuff over Bully Beta. So it all depends on, like, how many people want it.
Is this Sean?
Yes, it is. This is Sean Spielberg.
Have you ever played South Park: The Stick of Truth? If so, what were your thoughts about it?
I never played it actually. I thought about getting it, but I didn't because I don't know. I mean, it looks cool and it looks really fun, but overall, I just kind of just didn't bother.
Did you know you make me feel moist?
I did not know that, but that's good. Moistness is good, I guess.
Hi SWEGTA.
Hey,
Did you see Not Another Selector V3 by Deadpool XYZ mod?
yeah, I think I actually saw that a while
The mod
ago.
have all the fight styles and it's full. But the mod is 85% complete. But you have to see it.
I wouldn't really have to see it if you actually just told me all of the information on it, but yeah, fucking, you know, since this is the end of the video, and oh my god, I've been talking for an hour non-stop, and I only had like 50% technical difficulties, so that's good. If you're still hanging around, fucking check out that video, I guess. And if you're not subscribed, then, well, you're probably subscribed anyway, but if you're not, then fucking subscribe for more. Because I don't just make this kind of content, I make way more, so, yeah. Bye!